All right, everyone. Now, as you know, today is all about looking towards the future and discovering future trends along with Krones. And in all honesty, this next topic coming up, I did personally have a bit of a hard time wrapping my head around it, right? Labelless into the future, bottles without labels. That is a hard one to imagine, to me as a customer at least, or as a consumer. So luckily, we do have someone here who is going to walk us through what it's all about, what the advantages are on top of that for you as our partners and customers, and why we should all indeed head into a completely labelless future as soon as possible. All right, high time to welcome my expert on stage. As project manager for development projects, she deals with new trends and innovations on a daily basis, so she knows exactly what she's talking about. Her aim is to advance them in a very targeted manner, and with 10 years of experience at Krones, she does have a true passion for optimization. That is something that is going to help us out a lot in the future. This is indeed Krones' #1 go-to girl when it comes to laser technology and heading into the future. Without labels, please give her a round of applause, Anna-Lena Baumelt.
Thank you to be here. It's great to be here.
So, Anna-Lena, first of all, you did bring along some props for the stage. Actually, it's just one bottle, and this one does have a label. So why do we have a label? I thought we want to get rid of those.
Yes, of course. I have a question of my own for our audience. What if regulations forced me to remove the label from the bottle? What will the label look like? Can I still find all the important information about the ingredients on a bottle? Is it appealing to the end consumer, and what advantage do we have over the factors of sustainability and recycling?
Okay, these are a lot of questions,
yes.
Anna-Lena. I'm sure you also brought the answers.
Yes, of course. South Korea has to deal with precisely this issue. From 2026 onwards, it will be mandatory that still water in South Korea is available without any label. The sustainability impact of removing the labels from still water in South Korea alone estimated to save the country around about 25 million tons plastic per year.
That is an incredible number, and that speaks for itself. Examples are great for better understanding. This is Korea. The benefits are clear. What about the rest of the world?
Yes, PET is widely recycled, especially in Europe, South Korea, and India. But global recycling rates need to be improved. So at this point, we have to ask ourselves how we can transform PET packaging and thus improve recyclability and reduce waste.
What about in general, because we are looking towards the future, but what about in general? I'm sure you're interested to hear about solutions that are already ready on the market for the use today.
Yes. So very well-known no-label solutions on the market are, for example, the direct printing. This direct printing is a widely used technology, also known as ACL decoration. The next one is the embossing. The embossing is selectively used by major brands, often combined with a printed QR code or barcode on the top of the bottle cap. The embossing is part of the mold and is directly formed during the production of a PET bottle in the blowing process and is therefore 100% recyclable. And finally, the laser marking is a very new solution and not yet widely presented in the market. But here, various laser technologies are used to mark content directly onto the surface of a bottle.
Thank you. Those are three very interesting solutions. We have direct printing, embossing, and laser technology. We're going to circle back round to laser technology because that just sounds super cool.
Yes.
I have a question about that later on. What about well-known solutions from within our own industry?
Yes, of course. So why don't we start out by having a look what some of our big key accounts are doing. So here we have the Bon Aqua bottle from Coca-Cola. We have a barcode on top of the bottle cap. It is used as a payment system, the embossed logo in front of the bottle, and the laser technology for all product information on the back of the bottle. The next example is the first Swiss mineral water without a label from Coca-Cola Walser. Here we have also a printed QR code on the top of the bottle cap, and all product informations are directly embossed into the bottle. And finally, or the last thing I want to share with you, is the Sprite bottle from Coca-Cola from the UK. Here we have the embossed logo in front of the bottle and all laser engraved product informations on the back of the bottle, and also a laser engraved QR code for further detailed information. The last thing I want to mention here that this is a 100% rPET bottle.
These are incredible examples. Thank you for that. And a couple of them I've actually seen traveling. Has anybody ever seen some of these examples or held one of these bottles in their own hand? Not too many, right? That's just something I was going to get at, because these are so new. They're not very widely spread to most of us new.
Yes.
So how well accepted are they within the industry or by the consumer, by the customers themselves?
Yes. So, however, it can be said that these innovations are driven by pilot projects. A traditional label is still dominant, and most of the bottles has a traditional label. But we are seeing here great opportunities in terms of sustainability with a high potential for wider uptake. So currently, it is still a niche, but it's one we expect to see immense growth in the near future.
It is perhaps a niche today, but you are already engaging with your partners in moving forward within labelless bottling, labelless bottles. So what do you offer? Where do you stand and what do you offer your partners?
Yes, first we include to include the embossing as part of the container design for product informations, logos and so on. The embossing is part of the mold and is there during the production of the PET bottle in the blowing process. The next solution is the cap printing system for additional information such as barcodes or QR codes on the top of the bottle cap. These codes can be used as a payment system for further detailed information, for marketing purposes and much more. And finally, the laser decoration to apply legal product information directly onto the surface of a bottle. Here, we currently work with a CO2 laser and a fiber laser. The laser differs in their mode of action and recycling appearance, and also in their price and laser safety class. So on the one side, we have the CO2 laser that forms the material. The legality looks like today's best before date, which applies to use the same technology here. Here, we have the lowest laser safety class, the laser safety class 1. On the other hand, we have the fiber laser that carbonizes the material. The lettering appears black, which convinced readability somewhat. Due to the short wavelength, we can achieve very fine lines. So the fiber laser, however, has the laser safety class 4, which is very dangerous.
Very dangerous? Okay, that sounds dangerous. Now you see, ladies and gentlemen, on our screens, you can see these are again the different types of labelless bottling that you introduced just a few minutes earlier, and now you've already given us some more information on laser technology. And I said I wanted to circle back around because that is perhaps one of the most interesting solutions. What are the challenges besides the fact that it can actually be dangerous?
Yes, the challenges from a laser decoration. It's the legal. There are some mandatory labeling rules we must follow. For example, the product informations about the ingredients have to be on a bottle. The next point is the readability. The PET laser marking must be clearly readable and consistent, which is very hard to define quality characteristics here. And finally, last point I want to mention here is the marketing. Who does not know that a label enters us to buy? So it's at least true for me. I'd like to buy a label that catches my eye.
Me too. Yeah, and also the way it feels, and you get used to labels. You grow up with a certain favorite drink. We've already spoken about this yesterday as well with our partners.
Yes.
So indeed a big challenge, but I'm sure you'll find a solution. All right, so we have now, or Anna-Lena has now presented a number of huge benefits for the partners. What are the most convincing benefits for your partners to now go labelless?
Especially the factor sustainability and recycling. We can eliminate the need of the plastic material for labels here. And we have dealt extensively with the factor of recycling and have conducted experiments together with institutes to find out that this has no negative impact on this technology. The use of a 100% rPET bottle has also no impact on the application. We even find out that this is a positive effect on the readability from a laser marking.
And now, Anna-Lena, we have a real treat in store for everyone that has joined us here on site. So glad that you could actually join in on the presentation, because Anna-Lena has brought along a special treat. I'll allow you to do the announcement.
Yes. I will always or everybody invite you to follow me after our talk to our deco beam machine where we have in the hall. So please follow me, get to know the technology from the CO2 and fiber laser, and every one of you can take home their sample own bottle.
All right, so if you want to see where the magic happens, if you want to go home with your very own sample bottle and just, you know, have any further questions, follow Anna-Lena and she's going to give you all the background information. Her team awaits you and they're just going to throw on the laser machine. I'm acting like it's that simple. and show you guys how it works, all right? So let's hear a huge round of applause and just follow Anna-Lena, anyone who would like a bottle of their own.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anna-Lena.